Hello, this is Greg Allison from Green Greg's Garden and Worm Farm, coming to you from a power substation in the heart of Huntsville, Alabama. This is one of our largest power substations in the area. Nowhere near as large as some of the ones I talked to you about with the 200 to 400 ton transformers, but this is quite a substation in and of itself. I'm here to talk to you today about the Manhattan power outage that occurred just 2 days ago. Just 2 days ago in New York City, Manhattan, 30 blocks was without power. 73,000 customers from Times Square to the Upper West Side were totally out of power. And the crazy thing is that Con Edison, the power company there, still does not know why they were out of power. However, Mayor de Blasio has the answer in that, well, it wasn't caused by foul play. Well, Mayor, how do you know that? Gosh, gee, your power company don't know that, but you know that. Well, there's a politician for you. What do you expect from a politician? All the answers, but no answers at all. That's pretty typical. So what are you going to get from politicians? Hot air. The governor, Cuomo, said, well, hey, why would this happen? We had redundancy. We had system that things weren't supposed to domino in. Probably they did stop some domino effect. New York has been working on their power grid to their credit, but all power grids are susceptible to common cause failures and to things like hacking, and cybersecurity may have been a problem. Let's look at this. This happened on the 42nd anniversary of the big power outage that New York had in 1977. They both started on 13 July on the anniversary date. You get a power outage, but no foul play. Well, I do find that to be highly interesting. We should consider that a shot across our bow, a warning. In New York City, they were out of power from 6-something, almost 7 p.m. to just prior to midnight. They got it restored, just a few hours. But that few hours caused lots of trouble and consternation. People were stuck in elevators and subways. It was hot in those subways from what I hear. Being stuck in an elevator for several hours is quite a problem. I would not want to imagine that. I mean, think of all the high rises in New York City. Think of what it'd be like with no traffic lights and signals. As I understand, they were mishaps. Maybe if some pedestrians were hit, a few cars. So, talking of mishaps, so we're hearing a siren. So, let's just hope in America the sun don't go down as the sun goes down here on our power grid. Hello, emergency providers. Glad you're out here providing your services. Thank you. Now, let's talk about this. Oh, by the way, if you have not subscribed to my channel, please do, and please bang the update notification bell, because I'm going to talk some more on this and a lot more videos to come on power grid defense. I have many posted already, and as you know, I have been railing to get our power grid hardened. The fact of the matter is, the utility companies are really fighting us at every step of the way, them and their various associations, because they don't want to do this. In my opinion, that is malfeasance and gross negligence, because it really isn't that difficult to harden these transformers. Basically, you put a lot of surge protectors, surge blockers on the center taps. You can put Faraday cages for the controllers, the SCADAs. There are ways to harden the power grid. And first order defense of the power grid could be something that would cost less than a B-2 bomber. And we could buy a lot of security with that in this country. But no, they didn't even want to do that. And emergency providers are going to have to know they're going to have to be able to provide water to the cooling pools, where we got 74,000 metric tons of spent fuel rods at our nuclear power plants. If not, we've got some serious problems. It's estimated that within 1 year of the grid being down, that we will lose 9 out of 10 people in America, 90%. They don't even account for what those spent fuel rods mean when they make that estimate. So that is something that needs to be done. It's funny, I should be talking about emergency providers when there's some in action over here. However, the guy and pumper trucks might be part of the solution to helping keep water at those tanks. However, they have to be maintained. They have to be fueled. And fuel escorts to the backup generators at those power plants may be part of the solution, at least for a while, but spare parts will not allow you probably over time with the power grid down, supply chain down. Can you maintain that? I've discussed that in previous videos. So we need to look at what's to be done. You're going to need National Guard involvement in that. If you want to promote power grid defense in your community, start with the EMA people. There are state level EMA organizations. Your National Guard has an adjutant general in the state in charge of it. There are various ways to reach these people, even your governor's office. I have done that. I've talked to the director of the EMA from Alabama, and he is on board and he's working to help make this happen. This is working in South Carolina. So this is a problem that can be dealt with, and you can be a part of helping to secure the grid. Please watch all my other videos about grid defense. Here is what we're trying to defend. These substations primarily. That's our most, and those big high voltage transformers are our biggest risk, where they having to step the voltage up and down for long distance transfer. Now we're not that far from Browns Ferry nuclear power plant, so the transfer is not as high voltage as a lot of them. The power consumption in Huntsville, Alabama, we're not such a big city. Alabama's not as populated as a lot of other areas. So this is not as stark as what you find in many other locations. In fact, our system is probably going to be a lot easier to secure, but it's still got to be done, and the nuclear power plants have to have security to keep the fuel to run the backup generators for years. We're talking at least a decade. And to make that really happen, we probably need to make sure we have fuel barges pulled up to these places, because I don't think you can keep the spare parts going long enough to keep trucks running without a sufficient supply chain, which will not exist. And so you've got to consider that. But even if you have the fuel trucks in play, I mean, have the fuel barges in place and other fuel storage, you're going to have security for those sites, because if you ever saw Mad Max, it's all about getting the fuel depots, getting the fuel trucks. That's what it's all about. So security will be a major item for years to come around any nuclear power plant. So that's what we got to bear in mind. And please help your community in those regards. I have many things posted on this topic. And please also prepare for yourself. This can happen. Consider this little incident in New York City to be a warning shot. Why? Why this anniversary? What went on? I mean, you know, we've got some people in the world who are not our friends. We're over posturing against right now a country with a potential prospect for consternation, and this country has told us that they have the Revolutionary National Guard, who has targets already on 20 primary substations in the United States with sleeper cells ready to go into action. It only takes 9 key ones to bring down our national grid. So bear that in mind. Bear in mind that they also are very intelligent. They have hackers. I'm talking about the nation of IRAN. Yeah, you know, there's programs that monitor things. I'm trying to be careful with what I say here. But the key thing is, there are a lot of players that can do us a lot of damage. There's many different root source causes, as I mentioned in previous videos, that could break down our grid. So we got to make sure that does not happen. And but if it does, do be prepared yourself. I have links below to my Patriot supplies. Other videos that I've posted suggest that food prices are poised to go up rapidly real soon, and that would eventually include prepper supplies. So it's best to get them now while you can. Also, you should grow your own garden. Many videos where I'm talking about that. Now's a good time to get started. You can get heirloom seeds, which is the kind you can replant, save seeds from and replant later. That's what you're going to need if there's no place to go buy stuff. So True Leaf Market below. You can also get a few of those from my Patriot Supply. And consider you don't want to have to go to the stores to buy your fertilizers and buy your all that stuff. You can recycle your kitchen waste with worms. And I sell worms. Links below for that, greengregs.com. So again, work with us. I'll have a lot of stuff on my videos posted about what to do, what the real threats are, what it means if the grid goes down. Again, the Manhattan incident, let's consider it a warning shot. Why would it occur on the anniversary, the 42nd anniversary of all things? You know, 42 is the answer to all things according to Hitchhiker's Guide to the Galaxy, right? Well, it's also the wild card and ASCII code and computer code. So, which means anything goes, I suppose. So 42 is one of those special numbers. So pay heed, pay attention, keep your head on a swivel. Let's hope none of this comes to pass. Let's try to mentally project and think about good things, but prepare for the worst. That's my advice. Anyway, thank you for watching.